Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Captain Lucas Adams, and I'm the recruiting officer here at Virginia Tech. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for this introduction to Air Force ROTC and what that looks like here at Detachment 875 at Virginia Tech. So in overview, what we will be looking at is we'll be taking a look at the future opportunities that you will have in the Air Force, and then what Air Force ROTC really looks like here at Virginia Tech. So first thing I want to point out is that there are over 600,000 men and women serving in the Air Force today. So that's active duty, reserve, guard, and civilians. And there are really two things that bind us together. And that first one is our mission. The mission of Air Force ROTC, or of Air Force as a whole, is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace. So there are 5 warfighting domains that the U.S. Armed Forces have, and those are, again, air, space, cyberspace, and then land and sea. So as you can see in the Air Force, we cover a majority of those. Like I said, we cover a majority of those. And the next thing that really binds us together, that keeps us moving together as a force, are our core values. Those core values are integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. So we truly believe that these core values are the bedrock of leadership for the Air Force, and ultimately provide the moral framework within which military activities take place. So again, bottom line, these core values guide what we do day in and day out, whether we are off duty and at home in our communities, or while we are on duty and wearing this uniform and working in our jobs, no matter what our job is. Speaking of jobs, there are a lot of jobs that are available to you all as future Air Force officers. The first set of jobs that we are going to take a look at are going to be our rated positions. So if you are interested in being a pilot in some form or fashion, one of these 4 positions are available to you. So you can be a pilot, you can be flying the airplane, you can be an RPA pilot, a remotely piloted aircraft pilot, so you can be flying a plane, a drone that's halfway around the world. You can be an air battle manager, and you can be kind of managing the fight that's going on in the air, or you can be a combat systems officer, kind of managing and overseeing and integrating all the systems and letting the aircraft commander know what is going on. If you kind of want to put a face to a name for this job in particular, if you think of the movie Top Gun, and the character Goose was a CISO, or a combat systems officer. So again, these are the 4 rated positions, and then there are dozens of non-rated positions that are available to you. The first one that we'll take a look at is aircraft maintenance. So as an aircraft maintenance officer myself, my main job was to take care of, look after, work alongside, and serve alongside those enlisted maintainers who are out there turning wrenches every day, 24/7, and making sure that we had the best maintained aircraft for our pilots so they could go out and accomplish the mission. So that's aircraft maintenance. You can be in security forces, like a police officer. You can. There are special operations career fields that you can go into, like a combat rescue officer. You can also be a missileer. If you want to get into kind of the wild west of cyber, that is available to you as well. Again, space being one of our big domains, much like cyber. It is another great career field for you. Several different types of engineering jobs that are available to you, from civil, aerospace, electrical, and developmental engineering as well. The last 4 that we will take a look at are intelligence, providing the latest intel to those on the front line. So that's a very important role. Logistics, these are kind of like our FedEx and UPS gurus of the Air Force. acquisitions, and then also if you're interested in leading and serving alongside those maintainers who take care of, maintain all of our bombs and bullets and things that go boom in the Air Force, you can be a munitions officer. So again, these are just a few of the jobs that are available to you in the Air Force. And like I said, there are dozens of different things that you can do within the Air Force. So one thing that I would like to note, that whatever you do in the Air Force, by completing Air Force ROTC, you have a guaranteed job right out of college. So let's take a quick look at what that pay is going to look like. You can see that here, your yearly totals that you'll be earning coming right in as a second lieutenant, and then 4 years later, when you put on captain, what you'll be making, roughly what you'll be making. But again, with this, what I really want to get across to you all is that by joining Air Force ROTC, completing the program, you have a guaranteed job right out of college. So right away, you can start saving money. You can start, if you have bills, obviously bills that you have to pay, if you're trying to pay back loans, that kind of stuff, you have a job right out of college where you can start doing those things. There are also some additional pay that is available to you all once you join the Air Force. Depending on the type of job that you have, you might be getting more money put into your pocket. And then again, there are a lot of different benefits that the Air Force and the Armed Forces provides, from free medical, free dental, tuition assistance. So if you're wanting to pursue higher education, master's, PhD, tuition assistance is available to you, so that you can earn those things and not pay as much money. And then obviously right away you can start putting money away towards retirement. So again, these last two slides, by completing ROTC, you have a guaranteed job right out of college, unlike your peers where it's not as guaranteed. They're having to go out and fight and interview for those jobs. And a lot of great benefits come alongside joining the U.S. Air Force. All right, so there are a few ways that you can join the military, right? And Air Force specifically. So you can go to USAFA, to the United States Air Force Academy. You can go through OTS. And then the last one that you can do is you can join Air Force ROTC, the program that commissions and produces the most amount of second lieutenants each year. And so one thing that I want to look at is, what does that look like here at Virginia Tech? First thing, just like the Air Force ROTC has its own mission, and that mission is to develop leaders of character for tomorrow's Air Force. Here at Virginia Tech, we have a very unique program where we get to work alongside the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets to ultimately graduate and commission the best second lieutenants in the Air Force. I may be a little bit biased in saying that, as having gone through the program and graduating from Virginia Tech, the Corps of Cadets, and Det 875 back in 2014, but I really, truly believe that that is true. So let's take a look at what that unique program looks like. All right, so when you come in as a student to Virginia Tech and into the Corps of Cadets, you are a cadet, all right? No matter if you're joining Army, Navy, VPI, Air Force, Marine Corps option, you are a cadet at Virginia Tech. So with being in the Corps of Cadets, they are going to provide you with all of the necessary day-to-day military training. And that is very useful for us at Det 875, because now we don't have to focus on that. You understand how to wear a uniform, how to look sharp, how to talk, how to you know all of the customs and courtesies, you know what a general military lifestyle looks like through the Corps of Cadets. So when it comes time to doing all of your Air Force specific training, that's all we have to focus on. So if you go to a detachment down the road, let's say at like a UVA or a Liberty, they have to focus not only on the day-to-day training, but also the Air Force specific training as well. So they are taking twice as much time to explain and train and teach you all as cadets how to do that. Where when it comes time to Air Force training here at Det 875, that's all we have to focus on, which really helps our cadets and gives them more leadership opportunities throughout their cadet career. Not only through the leadership opportunities that they get within the Corps of Cadets, but again at Det 875. And so we really see our cadets perform and excel because of this unique relationship that we have with the Corps. When our cadets go to field training, which I'll get into in just a little bit, they are consistently performing in the top 20% of their leadership evaluations at field training. So again, this unique program that we have really bodes well for our cadets in our program. And the last thing that I really want to point out with this unique relationship that we have, not only with the Corps, but Virginia Tech, is that as a cadet at Virginia Tech and a cadet in Det 875, again, you're also a Hokie. You are on campus with 30,000+ other students. So not only are you going to football games, home football games with the Corps, but you have opportunities to join organizations, whether that's sororities, fraternities, intramurals, other sports-related things, other clubs and organizations on campus. You can join the Quidditch team if you want to, be on an intramural soccer team if you want to. So you have a lot of different opportunities to get out and branch out and not only do the military lifestyle every day, but also kind of have that normal college experience. So that was one of the things that I really enjoyed as a cadet when I was here at Virginia Tech. All right, so let's take a quick look at what our detachment actually looks like here at Virginia Tech. So we have 278 cadets currently in our program. We are producing the second most second lieutenants each year out of the 145 detachments across the nation. Approximately 66% of our cadets are on scholarship right now. As you can see, 67% of our cadets are pursuing technical degrees, 30% are pursuing non-technical degrees, and about 3% of our cadets are pursuing a foreign language degree. Last summer, 98% of our sophomores were selected for field training, which is really good, and we can more or less consistently see a high number of our cadets getting selected each year. And then this past year, 21 out of the 33 that were put up for one of those rated positions that we talked about earlier were selected. So we're super excited for those cadets who were not only nominated, but also received a rated position in the Air Force. So next, I just want to brag on our cadets just a little bit. This past fall semester, they were in the top 50% of detachments nationwide for GPA, with an average GPA of a 3.25. And they were number 9 out of 145 detachments for their physical fitness, with an average PFA score of a 95.7, which is really good. We have seen this past year 2 of our cadets get selected for what is called NJEPT. And this is a highly coveted multinational flying training program. So just to have 1 cadet selected from your detachment is great, but to have 2 is just really over the top. So super excited for those gentlemen that are going to be going to NJEPT. One of our cadets went through all of the physical training and programs and phases and passed that training and is now going to be serving as a special operations officer, specifically as a TAC-P. So again, we have certain programs that help our cadets achieve that goal. One of our cadets did, so super excited for him. Several of our cadets are consistently receiving aviation scholarships every year. So whether that's partial scholarships to help out with some of their private pilot's license, or even full scholarships so cadets can go out and get their private pilot's license. And then we're consistently seeing our cadets be awarded PDTs or opportunities for professional development training during the summer for different programs that the Air Force Academy has. Again, going back to special operations, language immersion programs like Project Go, or even our cadets, again, consistently getting selected to go to leadership evaluations and seminars and conferences year after year, like something like LEDX. So again, our cadets are doing fantastic things each and every year. So I'm sure what you want to know at this point is, what is my 4-year plan going to look like at Virginia Tech? So as a freshman, you're going to come in and you are going to join our general military course. And as a freshman and a sophomore, you are focused on followership and fundamental leadership skills. And really at this point, as a freshman and sophomore, you are prepping for what is called field training. Field training, as it says here, is a 2-week-long competitive training and evaluation course, which is held down at Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama. And after you complete field training, then you come back and you join our professional officer course, or our POC. And as a POC, as a junior and a senior, you are now focusing on honing in on all of your leadership skills. So you are now training the sophomores and the freshmen and preparing them for field training. And by doing that, again, you are honing in on all of your leadership skills. And we are also, especially in your senior year, prepping you to graduate and commission and join the Air Force. If you're going to be pursuing a technical degree, let's say aerospace engineering, you do have the ability to extend your degree plan out to a 4.5, 5-year plan. And if you're on scholarship, your scholarship extends out that entire time as well. So there are really 4 elements that we use here in Air Force ROTC within this structure to help prepare our cadets to be second lieutenants in the Air Force. And those elements are leadership lab, physical training, our Air Force ROTC class, and through some other special events. So lead lab is our hands-on leadership experience that cadets get. Again, during this time, once a week, Tuesdays from typically around 3 to 4:30-ish, our cadets are practicing their leadership skills. As again, the juniors, seniors are leading and helping our freshmen and sophomores prepare for field training is generally what lead lab looks like. Physical training is our second element and unique here at Virginia Tech because it is an actual class that meets 2 times a week from 8 to 9:15, either on Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday. And with it being a class, it really helps out our cadets in two ways. One of those being it's a GPA booster, typically, for most cadets, with it being an actual class. And the second thing, again, it meets from 8 to 9:15. And so while your peers in the Corps, in Army, Navy, Marine, VPI, they're getting up at 05, 05:30 for PT, you don't have to get up at that time. You get an extra hour and a half of sleep. And so because of that, we see higher GPAs within Air Force ROTC and higher PT scores. So that is physical training, and with that, you're typically focusing on kind of two areas. We typically do a long run one day, and then the second day, the second PT period that you have during the week is typically focused on some kind of calisthenics and full body workout. Air Force ROTC class. This is really your knowledge element that we have within Air Force ROTC, where you learn anything from the basics of the Air Force all the way up to national security. As a freshman and sophomore, you'll meet once a week, and then as a junior and senior, you'll meet in this class twice a week with your Air Force peers. And then the last element that we have within Air Force ROTC are special events. And these special events are typically what are called Warrior Day or AFTEX, or Air Force Training Exercises. And again, these events are really geared towards prepping the freshmen and sophomores for field training, and in turn, helping our juniors and seniors practice their leadership skills. So we also have some unique organizations at Detachment 875 that really help our cadets prepare for their future in the Air Force. And those organizations that we have are Air Force Flyers. So if you're interested in being a pilot, one of those rated positions, this is a great organization for you. This organization really gives cadets basic aviation skills and knowledge. Our second organization is AFSOP, or our Armed Forces Special Operations Team. So if you're interested in pursuing a career in special operations within the Air Force, these men and women do a great job of preparing cadets for that. Arnold Air Society is a national organization that really focuses on professional development, and Robert from Moyer Service Squadron is a local organization specific to DET 875 that also focuses on professional development and service to the community of Blacksburg. A really great organization there. All right, so moving on to scholarships. Big thing to note, so scholarships are not required to be in Air Force ROTC. You can be in Air Force ROTC all 4 or 5 years and not be on scholarship. 66% of our detachment is on scholarship though, however. If you are interested in achieving and earning a scholarship, there are 2 ways that you can do that. The first is through the high school scholarship program. If you are currently a junior, so be a rising senior, for those sophomores that are out there listening to this, apply your senior year. It typically opens up in June, so in summer, and then it will typically close beginning of January. So just go on to airforcerotc.com, fill out the application. So there's an application, and then there's an in-person interview that you will go through. And ultimately, you are trying to earn one of the 3 types of scholarships that the Air Force ROTC offers, which is type 1 for full tuition in or out of state, type 2, which pays up to $18,000 a year, and then type 7, which is full in-state tuition. If you receive a type 7 scholarship and would like to go out of state, say you're in Pennsylvania and would like to come down here to Virginia Tech, you can convert that type 7 to a 3-year type 2 scholarship. So in that case, you will be paying your first year, your freshman year, in its entirety, and then your scholarship will kick in your sophomore year and will be available, and you'll get that scholarship money from your sophomore through your senior year when you graduate. Let's say you either don't earn a scholarship through the HSSP program, or you didn't apply. That's okay. You still have an opportunity to earn a scholarship once you get to Detachment 875. And so that you can earn that through what is called the In-College Scholarship Program. So this ICSP is only available for freshmen and sophomore cadets. So typically, those cadets that receive this scholarship are kind of like our top cadets within the program for their year. So they're a high-performing cadet within their detachment, and the cadet is doing well academically, physically, and they meet the minimum standards that Air Force has for those scholarships. So that is another way that you can earn a scholarship once you get to the detachment. And again, that's through the in-college scholarship program. For those of you that are on scholarship, or when you do get on scholarship, you will also be receiving a monthly stipend, and that is anywhere from $300 to $500 a month, depending on what year you are. You'll also be receiving a $900 book stipend each year. All right, so if you are interested in joining Detachment 875, all you have to do is apply to Virginia Tech. Once you, or I guess during your application, make sure that you check that you want to be a part of the Corps of Cadets. And then when you come for summer orientation, at that point, you will sign up for your specific Air Force ROTC classes. And the last thing, while it's not a requirement, but it is highly suggested, is that you be in good physical health and shape when you get here. It is going to make your life so much easier when you're in good physical health. So that's something you don't have to worry about. I recommend that you go online and you type in, Air Force PT standards, and look at those PT standards and try to see how well you do on the PT test, and then just keep practicing those three main components, from your run being the biggest portion to your push-ups and your sit-ups. So again, highly suggest that you be in good physical condition once you get to the detachment. All right, so in summary, again, we looked at the future career opportunities that you have in the Air Force, and then what that road looks like via Air Force ROTC here at Virginia Tech. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me either by my email, which you can see here, or any one of the two phone numbers that are available. The bottom phone number, the 757 number, is my personal cell phone number, since we are all teleworking. Again, please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day.